Welcome back to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Pizarro. Our next segment is featuring Andre Singleton, and he is the owner of Palmetto Brush Art Studio. It's I know we see all the time a lot of the studios where you actually go in and you sip wine while you paint. Andre does that, but he does that in a much more efficient environment because he is mobile. So he can actually come to you, he can go to a restaurant, so he can actually change up the game in a lot of ways. So we want to welcome Andre to Low Country Spotlight.
How you doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastically well.
In my Wendy Williams voice, right?
There you
We're
go.
so happy you could join us today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Palmetto Brush and what you aim to do with your art studio.
Okay, we're located here in Charleston. We've been in business for about a year or so, and basically we just put a spin on the sip and paint kind of classes where we teach adults and children art classes. Right now we operate out of a couple of restaurants here in Charleston.
Okay.
Their locations are available on our website, www.palmettobrush.com.
Okay.
But basically, if you just wanted to book an art class, if you wanted to learn how to paint or draw, we do that kind of art for you.
Okay.
Or with you.
Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you even become an artist? How did you get interested in drawing and painting?
I've been an artist my entire life.
Okay.
I was kind of that kid in the back of the class, doodling instead of doing their work.
Instead of doing math, you were drawing.
Exactly. Yes. And after 4 years of service in the Marine Corps, I went ahead and went to the Art Institute of Charleston.
Oh, wow.
Right here downtown, and just got my degree in I went there for film, but the background in art and all the other stuff, I just took that and used those skills, applied it to my personal life, and a hobby turned into my business, and here I am right now. So,
and a lot of what people always say, the greatest thing in life is to let your job be your passion.
Exactly.
And it seems that you've been able to do that. A lot of people have difficulty doing that. Tell us how you actually took that leap of faith.
Basically, I've always been kind of a go-getter. If I'm doing something and I'm not passionate about it, I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
And I was working.
Oh, I know.
But I was working a deadbeat job, and I had my art as a hobby. And one day I just decided I was going to not do my job anymore.
Wow.
And just again took a leap of faith, put my trust in God, and say, okay, you gave me this talent. Let's see where it can carry me. And through a friend, I got an interview to do run an after school program for the children at Mary Ford Elementary in North Charleston, because they were in need of an art program. And I pretty much took everything I knew, condensed it to a class, and they said, okay, approve me of like a $5,000 grant.
Oh, that's great.
Exactly. So just using that as my starting capital, we just went ahead and started my business from there. So, again, doors just open, and they've been...
Yeah, you just walk through them.
Basically.
Yeah. Now, we're actually showing some of your works as we're doing the interview. What would you describe as your genre? What genre of painting do you do? What do you like to paint? What are you interested in painting?
My personal taste, I love doing, scenic kind of paintings. Anything dealing with, it all kind of depends on my mood, because I'm an artist, and that's kind of how we draw our inspiration. But I pretty much do anything, like people, beaches. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I build a relationship with my customers, that they come in and tell me exactly what they want, and I try to get that done. So it's a personal experience anytime that you come and do one of our classes. And so basically from there, we just kind of develop a painting, and we go from there. And
I have a son who's an artist, and he draws. He doesn't paint, but he does a lot of really in-depth drawing, and it's really nice. And when we first moved here, he actually had an audition at Rollins Middle School. It's the School of the Arts.
Right.
And when we lived in Greenville, he just drew just because it was his inspiration. And even in art, you know,
Right.
when you take some art classes, you're just drawing to kind of emulate or imitate what the teacher puts in front of you.
Exactly.
But when he had his interview at Rawlings, he learned that there's really a method to this in
Exactly.
terms of lines and angles. I'm assuming that's what you learned at the Art Institute.
Yes, yes. It was a whole, again, like your son, I had never been formally trained
Yes,
as
that's
an artist.
what I was trying to say.
Exactly. So getting that education at the Art Institute is something that helped me become a better artist. And I've taken a lot of those same classes. I even am still in contact with a lot of my professors. They give me kind of ideas. Hey, this is how you teach this is how you teach that. So with my art programs that I have, the ones that I'm doing for the after school program that we run downtown, we teach our children who are maybe 5, 6 years old and up to the 3rd grade, I believe, all the things that I learned. So
Yeah.
yes, there is a particular, you know, lighting and shades and that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like it's a different thing just to take raw talent
Right.
and develop it into something professional.
Yeah, and my son had a lot of raw talent, but
Right.
we never were able to develop the profession. Maybe when he comes home from the Navy, he can take some classes with you.
Awesome.
Okay,
That'll be
now,
cool.
what artists inspire you when you look at a piece of work and you think, wow, you know, I wish I could do that, or I love this style? Who would that person be, or who would those persons be?
In particular, I have a couple of artist friends who are actually going to be joining my company pretty soon.
Okay.
My biggest inspiration comes from one of my teachers at the Art Institute. His name was Andre Barbosa. You know, it was kind of cool. We had the same first name.
Yeah, yeah.
But his artwork, it just kind of like, I guess, spoke to me in a way that I've never seen before. It just brought a lot of depth to it. And he's a local artist here in Charleston. I'm not even sure if he sells his artwork.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from him, and that's where I get my inspiration from. But I also just draw inspiration from anything. I mean, I could be
Yeah.
walking outside one day and I'm like, oh, the sky, you know, it's a beautiful skyline. Let me
Yeah.
go home and paint that, you
Oh,
know what I
wow.
mean? So art is everywhere, and I just kind of absorb it and take what I see and try to put it on canvas.
Yeah.
So.
Now, you are running a summer program
Correct.
for students. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, yes, it's going to be from June 6th to July 30th.
Okay.
And we're basically calling it Around the World in 60 Days, where we're going to be taking different artists and different mediums of art and teaching it to kids from age 5 and up from all around the world.
Okay.
So 1 week we'll spend a week in discovering European artists
Okay.
or African artists or you know even Australian artists,
Okay.
and just breaking all that down and coming up with a whole different mediums of art for our kids to participate in. It's going to be at on Ray Street.
Okay.
The Greek Orthodox Church, they have a kind of school behind there.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we're going to be at. So
Okay.
it's going to be very entertaining. And, you know, and it's not just art. We're also teaching them writing, and we have a basketball court there and
Oh,
a
yeah.
playground. So if your child does come to our program, it's going to be a big experience that they will not forget.
And well-rounded too.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Andre. We have been talking to Andre Singleton, who is the owner of Palmetto Brush Art Studio. We will have all the information about the summer art program on our website. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Low Country Spotlight coming right up.